another young player who had some choice words that are now being shoved down his throat because it was the dumbest shit you could have said as a young rookie quarterback in this league to assume that the NFL, of all places, is the place that you can act like you've got it figured out and you're not even 10 days into being the starter. Oh, well, I guess you're 2 weeks into being a starter, but whatever. This guy, Tua Tagovailoa, and I'm never going to get that right because I keep forgetting exactly how to say it. But Tua, as we'll refer to him, Tua had to come out and clarify some comments he made about the NFL after he said, and I quote, "I expected it to be a lot harder. Not that it's not hard," he added. And this was, after getting his first win over, getting his first starting win over the Los Angeles Rams, and then beating the Arizona Cardinals after that. Yeah, he was feeling himself a little bit. Yeah, he definitely was. But something you need to learn, young Jedi. There's something you need to absorb and you need to fully take heed of. And that is the NFL. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how many wins you got. It doesn't matter if you are Derrick Henry stiff-arming the life out of Josh Norman, taking his soul out of his very body. Doesn't matter if you're doing that kind of thing. You can never say that the NFL is not hard. You can never say that, oh, it's easier than I expected. These guys anointed Tua as their new king, as the king in the North, or the king of South Beach, rather. So fast forward to their game this week against the Denver Broncos. Now, Denver Broncos, look, we know that they've had a shitty season. Broncos have not had what I would call a competitive season for the most part, but still an NFL football team. Still a team that has some wins. And even though it's a team that's underperformed, surely, it's a team that has not played well, surely, still has professional football players that are paid on a weekly basis to do a job. And Tua goes into goes into Denver and gets benched. They're down 10 points in the fourth. He gets benched for Fitzpatrick, or they're down big. They get down 10 points with Fitzpatrick, and Tua is just, he sat down for the week. Now, they're saying that this is a performance issue thing because he wasn't hurt. So he stank it up. He wasn't making the reads. And if you're watching the replay of the game, there were a couple of times where Tua, gets back into his drop. He doesn't see his first option, and then his eyes come down and he starts, trying to make something happen. And I get it. I get that that's where him as a player, that's where his instincts are. If he can't make something happen with his arm, he's going to start to use those instinctual abilities to try and get out in front of the defense. But in this case, they were bottled up. He was bottled up. He was making bad decisions. He was not able to make reads further down the field. He had a number of situations where, he did actually rotate to look for another option in his progression, but he just did not. make the throws that needed to be made. So Fitzpatrick comes in. They don't end up winning the game, but I think this is another example of a folly and a flaw in the philosophy of throwing out a top quarterback pick earlier than he needs to be out there. And, for me, I just can't understand where's the logic in that, especially with their situation. They created a problem for themselves that they didn't need to have. This is a problem that they shouldn't even be talking about, because Fitzpatrick should still be the starting quarterback and Tua should still be an apprentice under tutelage, being taught the game. And until they do those kind of things, until teams can have the patience, to actually see a plan for building a franchise quarterback through, then we'll continue to see quarterbacks who are, continually end up being bust. Really, let's be real about it. Sam Darnold, his time is as good as up in New York with the Jets. Daniel Jones, who knows? He might be looking at a transition in at least another year or two. These are quarterbacks who should have been franchise quarterbacks. These are guys who should have sat their asses on the bench and waited. Aaron Rodgers, for all the shit people want to talk, Aaron Rodgers sat his ass on the bench and waited. And when he came out, you gave him a few years and boom, he got to Super Bowl. So it doesn't matter, what anybody thinks about that process. It has proven to give results. Give them the opportunity to learn this new language, learn this new world that they're in. Yeah, even when they look like they got it, it's a lot different when it's in practice as compared to games. And then it's a lot different from a game where nobody's game planning against you to a game where you have good defenders, good instinctual defenders who have game plan for you. Look at what's happening to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson right now is out there getting victimized because they know the jig is up. The jig is up. It's up. So now Baltimore is either going to adjust or they're going to die. They're either going to adjust or they're going to die. Or they're going to die. But in regards to Tua himself, this isn't a surprise. This is another situation of a quarterback being out there before they should be. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.